Hi. So, back in 2013, I was at the final part of my 4-year degree in Chinese medicine, and I noticed that every time I swallowed, I felt a lump around here going up and down inside my body. You couldn't really see it from the outside, but I knew that this was there, and it had been developing for a few months. And I just kept thinking, yeah, I'll get to that later. I'm a bit busy right now with this degree. And one of my teachers, she saw it. She just noticed there was something different about my thyroid, but it wasn't that visible. And she said, you have to get your thyroid checked out. And I said, yes, I know, but right now just I'll deal with it. Just let me get some other things done. And so at that point in my life, I was doing a lot of qigong, a lot of meditation. I'd actually just done the Vipassana meditation a few months before for the first time. And anyway, I was at home one day and I was just, watching videos online and things like that. And I was listening to Dolores Cannon, and she said, your body really likes it when you talk to it. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna use this information for myself. So I laid down on my bed and I started talking to my body, and I said, hi body, it's me, your captain speaking. I'm sorry I haven't talked to you in a very, very long time, but now listen up. This is what we're going to do. I'm talking to the cells that have collected here on my thyroid. I know you've been having a party for quite a long time now, but now listen up. It's time for the party to finish, and here are your instructions. You've got 3 options because it's a free will universe. Your first option is that once you break up the party, you'll start being dispersed in the body. And your first option is that you can go and become another type of cell and you can be recycled as something useful in the body. Second option is that if you don't want to do the first option, you're going to go through the bloodstream and through the kidneys, and you're going to be filtered out through the urine as a waste product. And your third option is, if you don't want to do the other two, is that you're going to go through the digestive system, through the liver, and you're going to be filtered out through the digestive system as stool, as a waste product. Now these are your 3 options. Now mobilize, go. And the moment I said that, my imagination provided me with this scene, and the scene was like a school dance hall, and there were all the little kids at a school dance, and it was time for their parents to come and pick them up. And I was like the teacher, and I started saying to all these little cells, okay, get out, it's time to go home, your parents are here, out to the cars, you behind the curtain smoking cigarettes, I can see you, you're out too. Everyone get out. And the whole time I was doing this, because it was just like a spontaneous imagination thing, I was cracking up laughing because it was so entertaining, and it was very cute because all of the little cells were just like children and I was their boss. And so after all the children left the building, I said to my body, right, now it's time to bring in the cleanup crew. And again, my imagination started playing a scene, and all these little minions, like from that movie, the yellow minions with the one eye thing, they came marching in to the school hall with backpacks on with a biohazard symbol and little hoses. And I said to all the minions, right, now you're going to scrape off all of that plaque and chewing gum that's all over the walls. You're going to pick up all the rubbish, you're going to put it into rubbish bags, you're going to start taking the rubbish out, and also once that's all done, you're going to hose down those walls and make everything sparkling and clean. And as I was doing this, of course I was still laughing, and it took probably about 5-10 minutes of doing this. And after that was done, I said, thank you everyone, thank you for following your instructions. And the minions left, the school hall was clean, and I was done. So next thing was, I swallowed. Because every time that I had swallowed in the past, I could always feel this lump. And this time I swallowed, and there was nothing there. And I was like, what? So I swallowed again, nothing. Again, nothing. And then I realized that it was gone. And a few months later, I saw my teacher. She came to visit me on a holiday, and the first thing she said was she looked at my thyroid, and she was like, "What did you do?" And I sat her down and I told her my story, and it was hard for her to believe, but the objective evidence was there because I didn't tell her anything about what I'd done. She just saw it before and after. But this is not the end of that healing, because why was it there in the first place? Well, why was it there in the first place was that the year before I got hit by a car, and I actually walked out in front of this car. I collected my legs, I went over the bonnet, and my head hit the windscreen, and it actually ended up shattering the guy's windscreen like a spider web. And anyway, I bounced off and landed like a cat, and then I ran up to the guy's window and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I broke your car, are you okay?" And he was like, "Yep." And I offered to pay for his car, and he didn't want that. He actually just left. Anyway, my friends called the ambulance came, they checked me out, I was completely fine. And I woke up the next morning with a sore ankle. I put a hot water bottle on it and the pain went away. And so the next year I developed this thyroid problem. I cleared it with my imagination, with my consciousness, but it could have come back. And I discovered this 3 years later, in 2016. I went to visit a spinal specialist in New Zealand, and I was told that this guy was like a magic guy, and he had a 6-month waiting list. And I just thought, I'm going to put myself on his waiting list because I'd be interested to learn his methodology. So I got on his waiting list. 6 months later, my appointment came, and he was an osteo, an acupuncturist, a GP, and a naturopath. Interesting collection of skills. And anyway, he did an osteopathic check down my spinal nerves, and he discovered the ones that were blocked. He did the therapy on me, which involved pulse magnets. And that night I got home, and I very quickly felt tired, so I sat down, and then I very quickly felt more tired, so I laid on my bed, and then I woke up 4 hours later, like complete reset. And anyway, I had to have 3 sessions within 2 weeks with this man, so I went back for the second session, and he checked my spine again, and he noticed, "Oh, you have a bone out here in your cervical vertebra. It's around the C4, C5. And he said, you know, if you hadn't got that realigned, you would actually develop cancer, because the nerves that come out of that area go into your thyroid, which builds your immune system, and it also regulates the pH in your stomach. So you're going to have a stomach problem too, and that's true. So anyway, he with his osteopathic thumb, he went like this, dunk, and he shoved the bone back in, and then after that did the repeat of the treatment. And then very soon after, probably the next few days, I felt so different, like I'd been given 14 years of energy back on my body, and I was running around. I didn't need to eat, I didn't need to sleep, I was telling everyone how amazing I felt, all this kind of stuff, and that lasted for a long time. I've been for checkups since, and now I've incorporated what he taught me through that experience into my own treatments for people using pulse magnets on their spinal nerves, and it's very, very, very amazing. So anyway, that's a story about how to heal yourself with your own conscious, and reverse engineering that. For me, it was to do with talking out loud, because I'm made of water. 99% of my molecules are made of water. So when I start talking, I'm making a vibration, and that vibration moves through all of the cells. So making the vibration out loud, talking out loud. Second thing, childlike playfulness, fun, the emotion of joy, creativity, silliness. That was all just, you know, giving the fuel to the vibration. And then the third thing was having no expectation, just going with what my body wanted to have happen, and yeah, miracle result. but also needing to address the root, which was something that I didn't even think about at the time could have been the cause. But any misalignment in your bony structures can block nerves, which deliver signals to organs, and endocrine organs, which release hormones and products that we need for doing different messaging around the body. So yeah, structural alignment can be the cause of these organ deficiencies. So it's very interesting. That's the end of that story. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you can make it useful in your own life. Talk to your body. We're capable of such amazing things. Another thing on reverse engineering that process, which is because we're made of water with minerals inside, which transmits energy, electricity, and when you push electricity through a medium, it will create a magnetic field. So we're electromagnet beings inside this, body. And when you wipe a magnetic field over water, it can actually erase the memory of that water. So by putting your conscious into whatever area and basically changing the field through the powers of observation, which you can learn in the Vipassana technique, that will actually change the magnetic field, and that can help to wipe the cellular memory. So that's another aspect of that self-healing. Yeah, the end.